It's gonna be fun. Okay, so welcome, Gary. Thank you, those of you that are joining us for National Distance Learning Week. This is another one of our interviews that we are conducting. I'm super excited to have Gary Waller with us, Dr. Gary Waller, with us, and really excited about his experience and what he has. That he has this depth of knowledge about distance learning that I really want to be able to share with all of you. So Gary, why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself for those people that may not know who you are, right? Okay. So some of the newbies.
Okay. I'm Gary Waller. I've been here at Northwest Nazarene University, started when it was Northwest Nazarene College 19 years ago. I just retired this last year, emeritus professor of spiritual formation. I've been involved at the university at many levels, been a vice president, been a division chair, been a department chair, been a variety of different things. And so it's, and a director, of course. It's been a great time doing that. I've been involved in distance education since 1999. We originally, came as the director of a Master of Ministry program, which was a distance program, but the students would come here for a week and then they would go back and for about a couple months and do the work and then come back. We found that we were getting fewer and fewer students. We needed to do something. We found out about how the rapidly growing programs were happening online. And so we elected to do that. We began to do the research. In 1999, I developed the first curriculum with the help of my colleagues. We wrote the course descriptions for a complete program, Masters of Arts in Spiritual Formation. That turned out to be very good. The interesting thing of it is back in 1999, the platforms were not that good. And so we had a variety of different things. It was very, very interesting. I'm happy to say now that 19 years, or what's that, 17 years later, that the platforms are just incredible. So they help us to do many of the things that we were hoping to do. One of the things that we were hoping to do was to be able to develop a community. And you didn't want this to just be a correspondence course. In fact, it's interesting that sometimes students still want it to be a correspondence course where you just tell them what they need to do, and at the end of the course, they turn in their stuff. But our goal was to make it a community and help people and students make it a community. It's been my privilege over the years to see that come to fruition. And I've been really excited about that. In fact, in many ways, I've found that teaching online, and I've taught face-to-face for years as well as online, that face-to-face classes, particularly large classes, you have many students that are not fully engaged, whereas in an online environment, everybody's in the front row. Everybody has responsibility to turn their work in. And by making the discussion boards a primary part of the course, not just the lectures and the essays, but the discussion boards, and requiring interaction, I found that community is built very, very well.
That's amazing, and it's so true. It's such a testament to what it is that you are saying about that understanding of how we build community in an online environment, right? We have that understanding that it's not just about, again, giving information and that's calling it what it is. I love the correlation you did with the correspondence course, right? Because that's a true testament, I think, to how some people still think about online education, or distance education is students come, you're going to get some information, they're going to submit. There really isn't any interaction, right? We don't have discourse, we don't have anything like that. When in reality, that's really not the case. Right. I mean, we have, if nothing more, better courses, like better interaction, because you're forced to have those relationships. You're forced to build those in a very unique way, where sometimes face-to-face class, you can just go about your day or however that works. That's amazing.
One of the things that I've discovered is often in a face-to-face class, it's easy to become the old cliche sage on the stage. Mm-hmm. But I found that in online situation, I become more of a facilitator. I help the students facilitate their learning, but a lot of the learning happens in their interactions. Sometimes I have to tweak it, sometimes I have to work with it. That's why it's very, very important that the professor is highly engaged in the class as well. Not speaking all the time, but being there as kind of a guide in the old cliche guide on the side,
Mm-hmm.
but really helping the students to engage. I just completed 4 classes online, and the comments, I had 1 master's graduate class and 3 undergrad classes. And in every case, I had them write a final uh, evaluation. In every single case, they said, we thought that this would be just a bunch of stuff we do and then turn in, but we have really made friends.
That's
we have
amazing.
developed a relationship with these people that we may not ever see other than online
Mm-hmm.
until we walk at graduation. And so that's always exciting. One of my master's, 3 of my master's level students, each of them said that they have closer relationships with these folks in this class than they've ever had in any face-to-face class.
Wow, now that's amazing. So that's that testament piece that you're talking about, right? That building that community and that relationship. That's amazing. And you were telling me before we started this that you weren't even necessarily here teaching those classes, right? So you were at a distance yourself doing that.
I was doing a 7,000-mile trip on Route 66, and I'd get up every morning at 6, go through my classes when my wife got to sleep in, and then I would make sure that I interacted every day with my students, and it was great. And so I finished 3 of the 4 classes while I was gone, and finished the other one just this week.
That's
after I got back.
So amazing. So amazing. And I think that's, again, that testament to distance education, not tying a professor, right, to a specific location. We can be out in the world. We can be out, living life, having experiences, and still be giving excellent education, right, to people.
I've taught classes for NNU online from Venezuela, from the Philippines, from England, from Wales, from Scandinavia, and I've taught them all from those variety of places, and really we felt like we were developing a close relationship. I cannot overemphasize. It really depends, however, on the philosophy of the institution to make sure that they want and they use a platform that allows for student learning. It has to be student-centered learning, not professor-centered, although the professor becomes a guide providing great content, providing opportunity, but the students have to be able to engage with one another, and that's what develops a community.
Oh, that's so powerful. And I love that. That's the point that you ended on right there, was that it's so powerful. So you've been doing this a really long time.
Yes.
And have seen a lot of things, good and bad, right, come down the pipe. What do you think the future is for distance education? Where do you see it going?
I think that it's going to become even more and more prevalent. I love a residential campus. I love what it offers for students, particularly traditional students. But I've been working now with adult students since '99, and I had trad students as well. But and for the last 9 years, I've been the director of our adult program. And I believe that we still have not tapped everything that can happen in that. And the only way that we are going to be able to deal with the need of the adult population in a shifting economy, where people are going to have to change jobs, be retrained, all of that, we're going to have to be able to do that online. And we need to do it in a way that presents Christ in a Christian setting and an interactive way of doing it. And that's it. So I see the future of online is just unlimited. I think we've got to make sure that we keep it student-centered, that we make sure that we build community. It can't be, as I went back early and say, it can't be a correspondence course. It has to be a relational setting. And it can be. But I think the future, I just, the old adage, the future's unending.
Mm-hmm.
It's unlimited, what the potential is. We have to be willing to support it financially and really train our people. That's going to be really, really important, is training professors so that they are not relying on the content that they present, but allowing the students to learn through the process together.
I love that. I love that. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again on another one of our interviews. Thank you, Gary, for coming. I so appreciate your time. And again, why don't you tell people if they want to get in touch with you, right, and pick your brain and talk to you a little bit, or just dig into this deeper, how do they do that? How do they get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me would be through glwaller@nnu.edu. That'd be the best way.
Perfect.
I'd love to talk to them. I'm passionate about it. I've done seminars on it. I really believe in it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much again for your time. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you soon.
All right.